Welcome back here to the Spanish Fork Complex here as we get ready now for championship play with the 3A division. This game will be between Grantsville and North Sanpete. Of course, the winner of this ball game is into the championship game. The winner will have to go down and play another ball game. Basically speaking, though, the loser of this game, both of these teams are guaranteed at least third place in the finals, but you want that number one, obviously. So this game between Grantsville, North Sanpete, the undefeateds, for a chance to get into the championship game, and in that situation would have to be beaten twice in order to not win the championship. The other ball game in 3A is Carbon and Manti. Manti trying to dig back through that one-loss bracket. Carbon, of course, the game we just had here, ought to be a mighty fine matchup there between Carbon and Manti. In fact, I look back at that. The first game we did yesterday was Carbon-Manti, and Carbon beat them 7-1. So we'll see how that turns out again. Manti, of course, the defending championship from last year. Grantsville in this game had won 4 in a row until last year when Manti got the championship, but they're looking to get back on top. And, of course, North Sanpete, it's been a while for them in their endeavors. Check the stat here. In softball, they have a championship back in 1994. So it would be big for them. They'd love to get that one here. Also in the 2A bracket, we have championships going on there too. The top two undefeateds in 2A, Enterprise and Duchesne. And Enterprise and Duchesne, the number 1 and the number 2 seeds going into that ball game. That ought to be a real humdinger of a ball game there. In the other one loss, we still have Parowan and San Juan battling back there. And again, same scenario. Enterprise, Duchesne, the winner goes into the state championship with a 2-game advantage, and the loser would drop down into the play-in game, which would be played tomorrow at 10 a.m. So these are the final ball games here today. Again, 4 teams left in each division, and we'll see how it turns out. But long season, they battled hard to get to these spots. A great opportunity for both of these teams. You're watching the state softball on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports. We have a number of sponsors that we appreciate: Rocky Mountain Chevy Dealers, Utah Community Credit Union, Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, Sanpete Steel in Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Barney Trucking, Honey's Marketplace in Kanab, and Jones and DeMille Engineering. In making these broadcasts possible, we appreciate them and for their presence in the state and in a lot of them in southern central Utah. And it's not just this tournament, but they put out a lot of money all year long to help bring sporting events to the locals in the south and south central and southern Utah. And actually it's expanding now. TeamHive.live is a platform that you can get on anywhere, really, and work with them to broadcast other events. They do other events for these local high schools, and just a tremendous thing that Centricom has helped to develop and provide for these small valley schools in southern and central Utah, and also now Wasatch High School has gotten onto it, and others in the future will also, because of the ease and the greatness of that platform. Again, this game, Grantsville and North Sanpete, and I will try to keep the names straight, and I'll try to say the right schools at the right time. I've been known to make some mistakes from time to time, and Claire's here to keep me straight when I mess up, and I appreciate her here running the controls. And so if the air goes dark for a while, it's because I've made a really bad gaffe when it comes to North Sanpete. She'll shut me right off. So we'll try not to do that. So North Sanpete will be up to bat first defensively for Grantsville. They have Addison Butler behind the plate. Chloe, by the way, pitching. Zoe Cloward at first. Briley Castano at second. Madison Bolander at third. Kenzie Allen at shortstop. Sophia Crosby in left field. Ellie Thomas in center. And Avery Lee in right field. They are the number 1 seed. And the first pitch of the ball game going to be on the outside. Going to be a called ball on the outside. Batting for North Sanpete here to lead off is Katie Cook, the catcher, and wearing number 11 And a 1-ball count to her. By the way, brings it again on the outside, but a swing there by Katie Cook. Tries to get that outside pitch, but that pitch was bending away from her. That was going to be a long one out there. You need a bat a few inches longer to get that pitch. A good pitch there by the way. So Cook is a 1-1 count. Reaches down and taps that one foul, so it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count now to Cook. Bree Allred is on deck, and Madison Stedman will be in the hole. And if we get beyond that, Lucy Oldroyd will be batting cleanup for North Sanpete. Cook back in there. Again, 1-2 count to her first bat. Again, the undefeateds. Game going here. Right down the middle, but she flutters that changeup and brings it a little bit high, and Katie Cook swings right underneath it. So that'll be a strikeout to start the ball game, as by the way, won in that battle there. Again, a fluttering changeup that just fluttered below the bat or above the bat of Katie Cook. So here we go again. Second batter, Bree Allred, the second baseman, wearing number 3, steps in to face, by the way, outside, ball 1. And the first pitch from by the way. Again, on deck, Madison Stedman will be on deck. By the way, right across the middle, but she's changing speeds and moving the ball in and out. That ball just over the bat of Allred. Strike on her now. And by the way, with a very distinctive, she takes the mound, and then she swings the left arm out and then brings it back in. That time she throws a ball on the outside corner for a called strike. I believe it's 1-2 is the count now to the batter, Bree Allred. Madison Stedman on deck. Oldroyd in the hole here in the top of the first in the undefeated game. Pitch. Nice pitch there on the outside corner, and it go down swinging once again to strike out, second strikeout of Grantsville at North Sanpete. So 2 down with 1 to go here, and it brings Madison Stedman to the plate.
Number 25, Madison Stedman.
Not sure if these two teams have played each other. We're trying to figure that out as we go along here, if these two have clashed thus far in the year. First pitch on the outside corner, just off, called ball there to the batter, Stedman. And by the way, again, very deliberate, taking the sign and approaching the pitching rubber. On the outside, fluttered that one again. A bit of a change of pace. Got a strike on the outside corner. The swinging strike. So Stedman in count is 1-1 now. So once again, to the plate we go. That one in down the middle. It'll be a little high off the bat. Strike 2 to the batter, Stedman. Oldroyd on deck. Still looking through these stats to see if these two teams have played. I am not seeing that they have. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So she strikes out the side. Does the pitcher, by the way. Starts out with 3 strikeouts, 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. Tremendous pitching there by the way. And that'll be it. We'll be back in the bottom of the first here in just a second.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Welcome back here as we get ready to start now the bottom of the first inning with Grantsville coming to bat. Defensively for North Sanpete, they have Katie Cook behind the plate. They have Caitlin Johnson will be pitching. Indigo North at first base. Bree Allred at second base. Daly Bailey at shortstop. Tyler Joe Miramontes at third with Madison Stedman in left. Emily Strait in center. And Lucy Oldroyd standing in right field. First batter for Grantsville is Kenzie Allen. And she, wearing number 3, is the shortstop, stands in there and takes a ball on the first pitch from Johnson. And the second pitch, likewise, also a ball. And so we'll see if she can get that right at 2-0 the count now to Kenzie Allen. On deck will be Sophia Crosby and Madison Bolander. Ball 3 as Johnson having a little bit trouble finding the strike zone at this point in time. And you really struggled not wanting to put that leadoff batter on base. But 3-0 the count. Throws a strike right down the middle on that one. Pitchers seem to relax because generally speaking, the coaches will say, don't you dare swing with a 3-0 count. You let one come by, see if we can get the walk. Now with a 3-1 count, though, you go to work. That's going to be high and outside. Ball 4. So the leadoff batter is on, virtue of the walk there. And Grantsville with a runner on and nobody out here in the top of 1. Sophia Crosby, the center left fielder, comes to the plate. And on deck will be Madison Bolander, and Addison Butler, the catcher, will be in the hole here as the cleanup hitter here in the first inning. Pitch is going to be down low, another ball. So that's 5 straight balls thrown by Caitlin Johnson. A bit of a concern there, wanting her to get that ball in there and get things going. As Sophia Crosby crowds the plate a little bit. Another pitch is going to be down low on the inside portion, but low. And ball 2 count. That's 6 in a row in case anyone's counting. But it is, I'm sure, a bit of concern to the coaches. Fake the bunt. Strike is thrown. Nicely job. I shouldn't say no strikes have been called because the first batter did go 3-1 before she drew the walk. So I take that back. Now we're 2-1 here. Johnson's found her way now, but that's laced into center field. Right center around to third. They're going to send the runner for home. Missed the cutoff with the throw in, and it allows Kenzie Allen with great speed to go all the way around. So we get a double by Sophia Crosby and an RBI already in the ball game. So again, missed the cutoff at shortstop, and it allowed that. Because of that, there was no play at home. Not sure you could have got her anyway, but no play. So a swing and a miss by the number 3 batter, Madison Bolander, and she'll go in the 0-1 hole here. And Addison Butler on deck. Of course, Sophia Crosby with that stand-up double, standing at second base. Pitch on the outside corner. Johnson now got it going now. She's found the groove. Hits that outside corner for an 0-2 count now on the batter, Bolander. First blood here by Grantsville as they've got 1 run across in the first inning here. Ball is low and inside, but turning on it was the batter, Bolander, and rips it over the fence. About knocked the telephone pole over. But she will still be in the box, 0-2 now. Pitch is outside, ball 1-2. The count. So 1-2 the count. With Bolander at the plate. Pop up to the right side. Second's going back. Center's coming in. Center will make the play. Runner goes from second to third. Throw across. Not in time. It gets loose to the sideline and into score. On the errant throw is Sophia Crosby. So the batter, Bolander, pops up to center field, finally takes the throw, and then Sophia Crosby takes off, and it was really shallow when she caught the ball in the outfield, but she takes off to third. The throw goes awry, allowing her to score, so the E would be on the throw from the center fielder, and unfortunately for that, it'll cost a run. Bases are clean, but 2 runs across here for Grantsville in the bottom of 1. Got the score in the inning mixed up. Addison Butler will be at the plate. And Butler on the year, see if we can get that stats for you, is a .500 batter. That's a strike on her. She stands in with a .500 batting average. 6 home runs, look out. 1 triple, 13 doubles, but I guess that's what you expect out of your number 4 hole hitter. A little pitch is up and high on that situation, so she'll stay even in the count. Butler looking to keep things going here as Grantsville has grabbed a couple of runs here in the bottom of 1. And change up, woo. Butler does a pretty good job of waiting back on that, but she finally gets around on it, but it's foul. But that was hard, holding off on that pitch. It was a great changeup thrown there, and Addison Butler showing great patience and control to wait back on that ball. So still 1-2 the count. To Butler outside high, ball 2. Two and two the count, we believe. Yep, 2-2. The umpire says we're okay with that one. So 2-2 to Addison Butler. Ball outside, full count now to Butler. That took some patience letting that one go too. That was close. So here we go, full count. In the dirt low, ball 4, so Butler, clean-up batter, but she's patient enough that if she can get the walk, she'll take it. She's not greedy. Whatever she can do to get on base there. And so Butler gets to first and keeps the inning going. Avery Lee comes to bat now, the number 5 hole hitter. And they'll put a runner in. Looks like number 11 will come in to run for Grantsville. Number 11 is Ren White, I believe is what that is. Number 11, Ren White, running for Butler. So she'll be in to run. And Butler, the catcher, they allow pitcher and catcher to have a runner come for them. Kind of a speed up and safety rule. Pitches inside to Avery Lee. Ball 1. Elise Thomas is on deck, the number 6 hitter. And Avery Lee playing right field. Another ball outside. So we've had short or low inside and high outside. Split the difference here for the strike. We'll see. Looked like a strike. Okay, I thought he was bringing an arm up to call a strike, but it was low, ball 3. 3-0 the count here to the batter, Avery Lee, looking to draw the walk also. Stern fakes the bunt, pulls back, no bunt, and it's a called strike there, so 3-1. By the time she would have bunted that ball, the third baseman was close enough to hold hands with her, so that might not have been a good time to bunt. We'll see what happens here on the 3-1 count. Ripped, it's up in the air into center field. Settling under it is Emily Strait, and she makes the catch for the second out on the fly to center field. So second out of the inning. And we still have at first base Ren White running for Addison Butler at first. And Ellie Thomas is at the plate. 6th batter in the inning for Grantsville. Outside, ball 1. Catcher doing a nice job there, Katie Cook, of trying to frame that pitch back over the plate. But the umpire not giving it on that one. So ball 1, the count to Ellie Thomas. Nice pitch there, down low on the outside edge, and gets Ellie Thomas to swing, strike one. So one strike on the batter, 1-1 the call. Bunts the ball, it's going to go down. Third baseman's going to have to field that. Misses the throw, it goes into the outfield. Right fielder comes to back it up there for North Sanpete. So Miramontes across to Indigo North, but the throw, actually it was the second baseman covering Bree Allred as North had come up for the bunt. But that was an excellently made bunt right there, and put pressure on and unable to make the play at first. And then the result is you've got a runner at first in Ellie Thomas, and you've got Ren White running for Addison Butler all the way to third base now. And so another runner in scoring position as this inning continues to go on here. And Zoe Cloward will come to the plate. Zoe Cloward, left-handed batter, playing first base with a good bat here. This is, even though you're batting that low in the order, down at number 7, still a very potent batter right there. Quick throw back to third base. The runner took off from first. They tried to decoy and go back to third and get it and try and sneak on her, but unable to do so. Cloward with a .442 batting average and 3 doubles on the year. So a potent bat here with the batting average of .442. Mighty swing there, slaps it back against the screen, strike one. And 2 across already for Grantsville here in the first inning, 2 across. And we'll see what happens with Cloward as the number 7 batter to the lineup, to the plate thus far in the inning. A base hit here gets 2 runs across. Tries the change up to the outside. Nice block there. Katie Cook did a great job there of getting over and the way outside, getting down and blocking that pitch. So it's a 2-1 count now to Cloward. Ripped down the left field line, going to be out of play. So 2-2 the count. Again, runners in scoring position. Ren White running for Butler at third, and Ellie Thomas standing at second base. Base hit will get you a couple more here, I would assume, unless it's an infield hit. So Cloward stands in again. Pitch way outside. Nicely dug again by the catcher Cook. And it will be a full count here. First base is open. Elise Smith is on deck. Cloward's going to take the walk as the pitch is outside, so works the count full and gets the walk now, Cloward, as this torturous inning continues here in favor of Grantsville and against North Sanpete. Elise Smith will come to the plate, the designated player, batting for, by the way, the pitcher. So Smith will bat in the number 8 spot. Ball is in the dirt, blocked once again by Cook. Ball 1. And Johnson, has been under pressure since the very first pitch. And swing and foul down the line to first base. It will be foul. So a 1-1 the count here to Elise Smith. Should she get on, Riley Castaño will be the number 9 batter. So Smith standing in once again. Ripped down the third baseline, fielded there across the diamond, well done. Miramontes to Indigo North, that will be the third out. Saves a bunch of runs, and they get it done there, but not before 2 come across. So at the end of 1, it is Grantsville 2 and North Sanpete 0, and they will be coming to bat when we come back.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, Sanpete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Welcome back here as we start the second inning now. North Sanpete coming back to the plate to bat. It'll be the number 4 hitter, Lucy Oldroyd, the right fielder, wearing number 22. In interaction between Grantsville coach and the umpire. Shortstop is asking what's going on. They're pointed at her. I don't know that anything happened there. Something's going on with the shortstop. Anyway, here we go. And Oldroyd steps in. Dally Bailey will be on deck, and Tyler Joe Miramontes in the hole. First pitch from the pitcher, by the way, is a strike. Strike. And Oldroyd steps back in. Here we go. Swinging strike there by the batter, Oldroyd. Second strike on her. And 1-2 the count at this point. I missed one pitch there. 1-2 the count. And in the first inning, by the way, struck out all 3 batters. So 0 for 3, 3 up, 3 down, all strikeouts. Pitch this time is going to be blooped across over. And what a diving catch by the left fielder. Wow. Sophia Crosby made a diving catch. Didn't look like she was going to get to it, but that, if you're on TV, is worthy of a replay. That was a great play. She acts like she didn't know she did it. That was a great play by Sophia Crosby. Wow. Robbed Oldroyd of a hit there as she caught that one and made the out. Standout play in championship games and championship teams. You make standout plays from time to time. You see that happen. That pitch is going to be outside to the batter, Bailey now. Bailey, the shortstop. And first chance at bat here. First plate appearance. Swing and a miss, strike 2 to the batter. Well, how can you get strike 2 when there's been 1 ball and 1 strike? I don't know. So maybe we'll go back to 1-1. There's a second strike, though. I'll call that one. At least I know they've got 2 strikes. We'll see what happens when he gives us the count. It is 1-2, so the scorekeeper was right. 1-2 the count. 1 down on that spectacular catch by Lucy Oldroyd. On Lucy Oldroyd. Another strikeout there for the pitcher, by the way. So of the 5 batters she's faced, she struck out 4 and then relied on a fantastic catch in left field by Crosby on the 1 ball that has been hit. Swing and a miss there. And again, best I can describe what, by the way, is doing is change of pace and change of location. And hard inside, hard outside, change up, flutter pitch is best I can call it. That's a cutter on the outside, ball 1. A little bit high and way outside. She throws that in such a way it looks like it's trying to cut back in on you, but not too far outside, could not get that one to cut in far enough. That one, she gets that one to curl back in, but it's knocked over the fence. Foul, over the fence foul. As one of the balls from the other field is out here on our side, and our ball is over on their side. So that'll just exchange them and keep them. And ready to throw here. Outside ball. Used to umpire a little bit. Here's a story for you. Used to umpire a little bit in the league in my hometown, and couldn't figure out why none of the foul balls ever came back to our field. And got checking into it, and the other umpire was given a quarter per foul ball. So all the fouls were going to that field. Foul ball back against the screen. So they had all the balls, and we had one to play with and had to go searching for the others because the kids wanted the quarter so they could buy candy. That's the way you do it as an umpire. You get them all back that way. Back to this ball game. 2 out, 2 strikes, 2 balls on the batter, Miramontes. Bowling went for the 7-10 split on that one, the way it rolled along the ground. But it'll be called a ball in this sport. So 3-2. So Miramontes stands in. North Sanpete yet to have a base runner. That's a pop-up on the inside. Pitcher's calling for it, and by the way, we'll take it. So that's an F1, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So after 1.5 innings, yet to get a base runner is North Sanpete. It's been 3 up, 3 down with 4 strikeouts of the 6. So 4 strikeouts out of the 6. We'll be back with the bottom of the inning when we come back.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $4,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of it.
Welcome back once again as we go now to the bottom of the 2nd inning. And Briley Castaño, the number 9 batter, will come to the plate here to start this 2nd inning as Grantsville went through 8 batters in the bottom of the 1st. So that pitch is going to be inside a little bit, maybe a little low, called ball. So Castaño batting, and then they'll go back to the top of the order to Kenzie Allen. Again, Grantsville was able to put 2 runs on the board and left the bases full in that last inning. That's on the outside corner. Called ball, just off the plate. So again, used 8 batters, 2 runs across, 3 outs, but they left the bases loaded. That's a ball, low, and just like in the 1st inning, the pitcher, Caitlin Johnson, took a while to find the base. She struggled mightily as she walked the 1st batter and was deep to the 2nd batter before the 2nd batter, he ripped the double. And once again here, she's struggling to find that strike zone. And they're going to get a call there. I believe that's 3-1. The batter gave the mandatory fake bunt stance and then took the strike. So 3-1 the count here to the batter. Castaño pops it foul. Catcher's not able to get to it there. Butler not able to get over to it. So it works at full here now. As Castaño, actually Caitlin Johnson has worked it back to a full count as she was down in a hole 3-0 to Castaño. Here comes the payoff pitch. Ripped, going to shortstop, picked up nicely there across the diamond, and they're going to get her there. Well done Bailey to North for the first out. Well done. It'll bring up Kenzie Allen now for her second plate appearance. As we mentioned in the first inning, Kenzie Allen with a base on balls. And she'll stand in against Johnson. One hopper to third base. Throw is a little high, but easily fielded there by North. Miramontes to North, so economy of pitches there. Quickly gets the second out. And it'll bring Sophia Crosby, who got a double the first at bat. And she'll step in here for her second plate appearance in this ball game with 2 out in the inning and nobody on. Oh, nice changeup. Flutter drops across the plate, a little bit of arch to it. Freezes the batter, strike one. So Caitlin Johnson once again. A little flutter again. This time the batter reaches out. Sophia Crosby reaches out and slaps at it. Gets it to roll foul down the third base line. She'll have new life, but it's 0-2 to the batter Crosby now. Sophia Crosby with a great catch there in that last inning. Going to hit the ball off to the right side, but it'll be out of play, well out of play. But again, a great defensive catch by Sophia Crosby in the top of the second inning. Umpires looking for a few new softballs. They've all been knocked away foul. Hoping that the other umpires aren't giving quarters for foul balls. They're having trouble getting them out of the little machine they've got there against the fence. So, ready to go. So again, 0-2 the count to the batter Crosby. Bases are empty. 2 out. That's a shot to second base. Oh, a nice job. Cross-handed almost job by Bree Allred to make that play going to Indigo North for the third, but that was going away from her glove hand and cross-handed reached across, got the ball. So nicely done as we go 4-3 for the third out there of the inning. So 1-2-3, not like the first inning. They were able to go 1-2-3 there, so that's the end of the second. We'll be back with the third inning after these messages.
Them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Welcome back. Here we go. A little bit of information on the other ball game going on. It looks like Carbon and Manti. It looks like Manti, again with their back against the wall in this tournament, is up 6-0 on Carbon early in the ball game. So Manti, with that tradition and that ability, they know how to get her done under duress. So they're battling their way back through the losers bracket to try and get back into the championship game. Here we have Grantsville, who has played well. In fact, North Sanpete has yet to have a base runner. The batter is Indigo North, and she has 1 called strike on her at this point in time. 4 strikeouts for the pitcher, by the way. Swing and a miss there by North, strike 2. Peyton Johnson, the designated player, will be on deck, and Emily Strait, the center fielder, is in the hole here in this inning. By the way, registers another strikeout as she blows that one by Indigo North. So another strikeout there for the first out of the third inning. That's 5 of the 7 outs by way of strikeout. So the other 2 were flyouts, 1 to the left fielder and 1 to the pitcher. And so Peyton Johnson steps in, batting left-handed. See if she can make something happen. Pitch is outside by the way, way too far outside in this situation. So back in the box comes Johnson, wearing number 1, batting left-handed. Way outside again. By the way, trying to nibble at the corner, but those 2 pitches way outside. I don't see as much of the slap technique coming out of left-handed batters. It used to be if you were left-handed, it was automatic. You were slapping. That's what they were taught to do. But I see a lot more of free-swinging left-handers now than used to see. That pitch is inside, so by the way, in a situation where North Sanpete may get their first base runner here by way of walk, as she's in a hole 3-0 to the batter Johnson. And here comes the pitch. That's going to be on the outside corner, strike 1. So 3-1 the count now to Peyton Johnson. Again, Straight is on deck. And if either of them get on, then we will go back to the top of the order. And it'll be the first inning that it hasn't gone 1, 2, 3 if that happens. Ooh, outside corner. She got the call on that one. Outside. She loves to go outside on those batters. Everyone, right or left. She wants to nibble at that outside corner. She got it there, so it's back to a full count. As, by the way, determined not to lose this batter, battling back. Comes there high and tight. She'll get the walk, and North Sanpete has a first base runner of the ball game as Peyton Johnson draws the walk off of By the Way. And there goes the perfect game, I guess we could say. As you put a runner on, it's not a perfect game anymore. Emily Straight will come to the plate now, 1 down, and a runner at first base. And Emily Straight, the number 9 hitter, turns and bunts the ball. It's on the third base field. It goes to first, perfectly done, as that's Bolander to Cloward. Well done there, but it does move the runner over. And so Peyton Johnson will go to second base on the sacrifice by Emily Straight for the second out. So with 2 outs, you bring back the top of the order, Katie Cook. And again, this is the first inning that it has not gone 1, 2, 3. So Sanpete with a bit of a challenge here with a runner on second in scoring position. Katie Allred struck out in the first inning, and she stands in here now, takes a ball high on the first pitch. A base hit would theoretically score Peyton Johnson. So Cook steps back in again. Cook, the catcher, there for swing and a miss. Strike 1 there. Is all, by the way, throws an excellent pitch on that one. So 1-1 the count, 2 down in the inning. Runner at second base in the person of Peyton Johnson. So by the way, sets and brings the pitch. And the batter actually kind of squats into it. She throws her knee down, and the ball hits her in the knee, and she will take first base. And so it's a hit by pitch for Katie Cook. Hit by pitch by Katie Cook. She'll go to first. Runners at first and second. And into bat is Bree Allred. Bree Allred also struck out in the first inning. Steps in there with 2 runners on, 2 out. Ball is hit in the air just over the third baseman. The shortstop ranges over and takes it. Nice play, Kenzie Allen, as she goes all the way to the sideline to get that ball, Kenzie Allen. But it's a pop-up, it's a fly out, and it ends the inning. And so North Sanpete able to get a couple runners on, but could not convert any of those to runs. So after 2.5, we have the score remaining at 2-0 in favor of Grantsville, and they will be coming to bat.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Welcome back once again. Here we are. That's 3A softball championship, carried to you by TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, and in partnership with KSL Sports. Grantsville versus North Sanpete. Bottom of the third with Grantsville with a 2-0 lead. And at the plate is Madison Stedman. And the first pitch, wrong team. This is not Madison Stedman. This is Madison Bolander. So I had the first name right. And that pitch is also a strike. So Madison Bolander, the number 3 batter, leading off this third inning. And she's in a hole 0-2 now. And the coach coming out, that hit the catcher a little bit wrong. And Addison Butler is being looked at. Must have hit her on the wrist or something. She's holding her wrist. Coach says, "You're tough. Just get back in there and get her dead." That's a lot of coaches. They do that. What coaches, right? Be tough. Your thumb's hanging off by a thread, but you're all right. Get back in there and play. It's all right. I'm being facetious, but Bolander still at the plate. 0-2 the count on her. Pitch is outside and high to Bolander. 1-2 the count. And Caitlin Johnson, pitcher for North Sanpete, struggled a little bit, but she's got her squared away, it seems now, as the second inning went down 1-2-3 in order. Pitch is inside, gets away from the catcher, rolls to the screen. No damage done. Nobody on to do anything, so no damage done. And it'll be a 2-2 count now to the batter, Bolander. And we go 2-2 the count now. And now a swing and a foul ball again by Bolander. So that'll remain at 2-2 the count on Bolander. Again on deck, Addison Butler is on deck. And Avery Lee in the hole. Ball is hit in the air over shortstop. Center field coming in and will make the play there. Emily Strait with the catch out in center field. Had to come a ways to get to it, but able to make that. The ball was high enough, was able to settle under it and make that play. One down here in the bottom of the third in a close ball game, 2-0. It's a championship game. It should be close. Both these are excellent softball teams. Addison Butler will come to the plate now. Again, Katie Cook continues to work that thumb a little bit. She must have taken it right on the thumb. But she's game. She's going to stick in there and get her dead. It's championship time. So Butler will call timeout and step out. Felt like Johnson was taking a little bit too long in the circle to deliver. So Butler steps out of there. And here she comes with the pitch. Now Johnson is going to be off the plate on the outside. Ball 1 to Butler. Butler has been up and took a base on balls in the first inning. Eventually got to third, but was stranded there with bases loaded in the third inning. Ball's popped up. It's coming directly back. Whoa. Ball drops in to the high-paid section here. People paying tons of money for these up-front seats here, I'm sure. And no damage done there, so 1-1 the count to Butler. Woo, on the corner, 1-2, nice pitch there, low and on the outside corner. That's a tough ball to hit no matter what, even if you know it's coming. So 1-2 the count, one away here in the inning. As we mentioned, Caitlin Johnson had some struggles in that first inning, but she's got it salted away now. Ball's hit in the air over second base. Center fielder coming in, not able to make that catch, though. Just in a spot where nobody could get to. Gallant effort there by Emily Straight as she made a diving attempt. Did get a glove on it, but unable to hold on. So it's a hit by Addison Butler, and the runner Ren White will come in for her. So a base runner here in the third inning for Grantsville with one down. And coming to the plate, Avery Lee. And Avery Lee flew out to the center fielder last time up in the first inning. Pitch is going to be low and inside. Ball one to the batter, Lee. On deck, Ellie Thomas, the center fielder, Ellie Thomas. So Johnson with the pitch. Bunt is laid down. It's a strike, but the runner continues on anyway, even though the bunt, she made an attempt at it. It's a called strike, but it was not fouled off. And so the runner, Ren White, gets a stolen base there. Hit and run, but she gets a stolen base out of it. So she's standing at second. A strike on the batter. Pitch is inside ball. Ball 2-1 the count. Again, Avery Lee looking to make something happen here with the runner in scoring position. And Ellie Thomas on deck, one down in the inning. Ooh, nice pitch there on the outside part of the plate. Strike two. 2-2 the count. And we mentioned Manti up on Carbon in the other playback game in 3A. Swing and a miss. Strike three on the batter, Thomas. So, Avery Lee goes down on the strikeout. So the second out now. And it'll bring Ellie Thomas to the plate now with two away, a runner on second base. The runner on second base, of course, Ren White running for Addison Butler. And so Thomas will have a chance here to get a hit and make something happen. The ball gets away from the catcher, Cook, and it allows White to go to third. So now she's standing at third base. She's 60 feet away. So Thomas stands back in against Johnson. Ooh, nice. Oh, umpire was going to say that was a little up. Thought he was calling a strike, but he was just indicating that the ball was up a little bit. So it's a called ball. I believe that's 2-0 the count. Ball is popped down the third base line. No one able to get to it. Valiant effort there by Miramontes to try and get to that ball, just not able to make it happen. So it'll be a strike on the batter. 7-2 the score now in the Manti Carbon game. 2-1 the count here with Manti in the lead, 7-2. Ball is hit past the third baseman. It'll be a base hit and a run scored here for Grantsville as Ellie Thomas gets the single and drives in the run, as that is just outside the reach of a diving third baseman, Miramontes. And it'll be the third run now for the Grantsville Cowboys, Lady Cowboys. And Ellie Thomas is at first base, and Zoe Cloward now comes to the plate. And Cloward took a base on balls last time, worked a full count, and got the base on balls. And so we'll see what she can do here. Pitch is outside high, ball one. And so Cloward stands in. Ooh, rips it down the third base line off the glove. And the umpire is going to call that a foul ball. Interesting. I have to see some replay on that. I thought she made contact with that ball before it went foul. But he called it foul. And there is no instant replay, so we don't have to wait 4 minutes while they look at the instant replay like they do in professional baseball. 4 to 5 minutes at a time. So Cloward comes back. 1-1 the count now with 2 down. Ball is high. Runner goes. Nobody covering. The ball goes into center field. And lucky the runner did not continue over. It's a good play by Emily Straight to come forward and stop that before it got any farther, because that nearly put the runner at third base as Ellie Thomas runs to second base on a stolen base and puts her in scoring position for Zoe Cloward here at the bat. Base hit now will score Ellie Thomas. But just nobody covering there for North Sanpete. Oh, a little flare out to the shortstop, easily made there. Nicely done by Bailey. A little flare off the bat of Cloward. Go F6 and the third out. So no run, well, 1 run scored there by Grantsville. I'm sorry, they did get 1 run and on 1 hit, I believe. And so at the end of 3, it is 3-0. So we'll go to the top of the 4th when we come back.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
Welcome back here as we start the 4th inning now, and North Sanpete coming to bat. And North Sanpete still with a goose egg there, 0. In the 2A ball game, you've got Parowan beating San Juan. There's a rip there. That's going to go all the way back to the screen, bobble a little bit out there, and allow the runner to get to second base. But that was a great hit there on the very first pitch that she saw by Madison Stedman, and she ends up with a double out of that one. She may have made it even if they'd picked it up clean. She was on her way. So nice hit there by Madison Stedman. Puts a runner in scoring position with nobody out here. And Lucy Oldroyd coming to bat. Again, in the San Juan Parowan game, Parowan is up 7-3 in that ball game. And in the Manti Carbon game, Manti still leading in that ball game. Ball high. By the way, and Sanpete has not scored yet. But this is their best threat right here with a runner at second and nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. This is their best opportunity. See if they can cut into this 3-0 lead by Grantsville. Pitch is outside. Ball 2 here to Oldroyd. Oldroyd, the leading number 4 hitter for North Sanpete. Oldroyd with a .372 batting average on the year stands in there again. That pitch is going to be inside a little bit up, but inside over the plate, called strike. 2-1 the count now to the batter, Oldroyd. Pitch going to be outside. Ball 3-1 the count now to Oldroyd. And kind of a struggle here for the first time in this ball game for By the Way, as she has gives up a leadoff double and now is down 3-1 to Oldroyd here, in danger of putting her on and put 2 runners on. That's going to be a little high. It was down the middle but high. And Oldroyd took off quickly before the umpire had a chance to maybe call that one a strike. She wasn't going to let him. She took off immediately. So it's runners at first and second.
Shortstop number 19, Dolly Bailey.
And nobody out here, so a huge opportunity here for the North Sanpete Hawks. And they send Dolly Bailey to the batter's box. She struck out in the second inning in her only plate appearance to this point. She's batting in the number 5 hole, so you expect she has got a good bat. She goes for the bunt, fouls it off. Runners take off anyway because they're not sure, but the umpire says there was contact with the bat. Or what is there? Now they're having a conversation with the Grantsville's coaching staff again. Not sure what this conversation is all about. All the coaches are coming to home plate. You've got an extra umpire at home plate. And we're never made privy to what the discussion is. The umpire out in the second base umpire is discussing things with the Grantsville girls, first and second base. It's not communicated up here, so I'm not sure what that discussion was, what the difficulty was. We think it was a called strike or an attempt to foul ball off the bat of the batter. And we go back to work with Bailey still at the plate. One strike call on her, and all the runners went back to where they were. Turns to bunt again. This time she'll put it down, and it goes between home, the pitcher, and the third baseman. Perfectly placed. It is a bunt for a hit right there as it goes between the pitcher and the catcher, Chloe By the Way and Madison Bolender, right between both of them, and really rolled far enough that the runner Johnson could have Stedman had a chance to come home with that. The end result, though, is you've got a bunt single, you've got bases loaded, you got nobody out, and you got Grantsville taking a quick timeout to discuss this. Because North Sanpete certainly has mounted a charge here and really has a huge threat going on here. They trail 3-0 in the fourth, and they have nobody out, and they are sending Tyler Joe Miramontes to the plate, the third baseman. And she's coming to the plate. She flew out to the pitcher on her only plate appearance in this ball game. So Miramonte steps in, bases loaded, nowhere to put her. Pops that one up foul. That'll be strike one. Off the screen, rolls out to the first baseman. Cloward will pick it up and give it back to By the Way, and we'll be ready to go here. One strike on the batter. By the Way, once again, bring the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice change of pace there by the Way. And Miramontes was going for a 4-run swing on that one and missed everything. Nice change of pace by the Way. 2 strikes on the batter. Nobody out yet. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's huge in that situation to get a strikeout with bases loaded. And By the Way steps in and makes it happen, taking down Tyler Joe Miramontes on a strikeout for the first out of the ball game. 6th strikeout in the game for By the Way. She now faces Indigo North.
Now batting first baseman number 9, Indigo North.
Indigo North is one of those victims of a strikeout. And she'll take the first pitch. She thought it was high, called strike. Again, she is one of the 5 strikeouts in the ball game. 6 strikeouts. Here we go once again. 1 strike on the batter. Fouled back against the screen. Strike 2. And with bases loaded, By the Way seems to be a little bit more dialed in here with her pitches. See what she does here with an 0-2 count on the batter, Indigo North. Bases loaded. Ooh, little high and outside. Ball 1. Whoop, we got an interference call on somebody. Third base umpire calls an interference. Or is it an illegal pitch? Grantsville not happy with whatever the call was. I believe she called maybe an illegal pitch on the pitcher. Either way you look at it, it's a ball at this point, and it'll be a 1-2 count to the batter. She'll step back in. North steps back in with a 1-2 count on her. Swing and a miss, strike two. By the way, comes back with a vengeance after getting the bases loaded. She strikes out the next two batters for her 7th strikeout of the game. More importantly, now it's 2 outs. Bases are still loaded, but she's doing a tremendous job of pitching here. And now she has Peyton Johnson coming to the plate. Peyton Johnson walked last time. She is the designated player batting in the place of Caitlin Johnson, the pitcher. So Peyton Johnson steps in on the outside corner, strike one. And so Emily Strait is on deck. Again, Peyton Johnson batting for Caitlin Johnson. Outside ball. 1-1 the count. This is nail biting time. If you're from either team, this is nail bite. And I don't have any nails left, so I can't bite mine. Claire's got plenty of nails she could bite over here as I look at her. But she obviously doesn't bite her nails. So swing and a miss by Johnson. A little bit on the outside, but nonetheless a swing and a miss. So 1-2 the count now to Peyton Johnson. And bases loaded for North Sanpete. What a golden opportunity. But they had bases loaded with nobody out. Now it's 2 down and 2 strikes on the batter. That pitch is outside ball. 2-2 the count. As, by the way, continues to try and work that outside corner. Got out too far on that one. See what she can do here. 2-2 the count. This is the pitch she wants to make something happen. Do not want to go 3-2. Swing and a miss back against the screen. Foul ball. Strike two remains. 2-2 the count. So here we go. Peyton Johnson batting for Caitlin Johnson. 2-2 the count. 2 out. Bases loaded. Top of the 4th. Pitch on the way. High. Ball 3. Now you're up against it. Bases loaded. Nowhere to put the batters. Full count. 2 down. Ooh. If you had any fingernails left, now would be the time to bite them. So here we go. As we stated, full count, 2 out, bases loaded. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a low pitch. But pitching her way out of it is, by the way, my goodness, Chloe, by the way, loads the bases, or bases get loaded, and then throws 3 strikeouts in a row to kill the inning. What great, brave pitching that was to end the inning. No runs scored, bases loaded, 3 left on base. And we'll be back with the bottom of the 4th.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Sanpete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. Sanpete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. Sanpete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com.
welcome back now. North Sanpete has to play defense after that disappointing offense opportunity that they had there. Caitlin Johnson dribbles the first one to the plate. It's going to be a ball to the batter. Stepping in there now is Elise Smith, the designated player, batting in the place of By the Way. Elise Smith now. She grounded out to third base in her first attempt in the first inning, and this is her second plate appearance here. And it looks like another ball 2. On deck is Briley Castano, and then Kenzie Allen back to the top of the order if we will be in the hole. Those 3 batters for sure. Ball is hit on the ground. Shortstop, pick it up, throw across the diamond. Easily done. Good job. And that is Bailey to North there. And that's an easy out. Well, they make it look easy. It's never easy. But Bailey and North make it look easy.
Now batting second baseman number 21, Briley Castano.
So Briley Castano will come to the plate now. And again, she grounded out to shortstop last time up too to start the second inning. Here she is for a second appearance in the bottom of the 4th. Ball's going to be hit towards the second base. Easy bounce there, up and across, easily done. Nice. That one is 4-3 if you're scoring for the second out. And a 1-2 inning. We'll see if it goes 1-2-3 as Kenzie Allen now comes up, batting at the top of the order. Kenzie Allen reached on a walk and scored in the first inning, and then dribbled to the third baseman across. And ground out to the third baseman for her out, now back in the 4th inning. As North Sanpete really playing nice defensively since that first inning. That's one of those nice floaters on a changeup, drops in for a called strike. And he'll step back in again now, will Kenzie Allen. Rips back up the middle, shortstop not able to get there. Bad hop at the last second, goes across her glove. She may have had a chance, possibly. She was down on it, but it took a big hop and went into right center field. So Kenzie Allen does her part, getting the single here, getting herself to first base. Now Sophie Crosby will come up. She had a double in the first inning and grounded out to second base in the second inning. So we'll see what she can do. Crosby stepping in with 2 down and a runner at first. Turns to fake the bunt, fakes the bunt, runner goes, throw is high, but they got her. Nicely done. Looked like the throw was way high, but they got it down quickly. Did the shortstop Bailey, got the tag down, got the out. So Kenzie Allen caught stealing, and that's a 2-6 for the third out. So that ends the inning. It is a 1-2-3 inning, even though there was a hit in the inning. It's 1-2-3, and Sophia Crosby was at the plate and will return as we start the 5th inning. She does not lose her at-bat in that situation. So there we are. After 5 complete, it's 3-0 Grantsville. We'll be back with the 4 complete. We'll be back with the top of the 5th.
Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live, and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events.
First pitch, batting right now is, North Sanpete will get this squared away. Emily Strait is up to bat here. And squared on a bunt, and we called strike on her. So 0-1 the count here as we start the 5th inning here, the top of the 5th, and North Sanpete back to bat. And that's going to be inside a ball. And again, last inning was a golden opportunity as North Sanpete loaded the bases with nobody out. And then Chloe took it upon herself to strike out the next 3 batters in succession to kill that rally. Ball is popped up, straight back. Look out, those of you waiting in line for a hot dog. Nobody screamed, therefore it must have just landed with no damage done. Nobody's dogs lost their hot dog in that fray right there. That's the good news. No hot dogs were killed. So 1-1 the count here to Emily Strait. Hits the ball to third base. A short hop it, come across the diamond, Bolander to Cloward, and that was kind of an in-betweener. It almost caught the line drive, but then had to short hop it was Bolander, but stays down on it, makes the play across to Cloward, and it's one down here.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Lady Hawks. Now batting, catcher number 11, Katie Cook.
So we're back to the top of the order. Katie Cook comes up with a strikeout and a hit by pitch in 2 appearances. So two appearances, one time on base. Fouls it straight back against the screen. Strike 1 to Katie Cook. And there you go, steps back in the box, Katie Cook. On deck is Bree Allred. Ooh, that's going to be a little bit high and outside, I would say, on that one. And ball is the call. I think the umpire hasn't raised his hand yet, but I think he's going to call that one a ball, I would assume. So 1-1 the count, 1 out. Batter again is Cook. So here we go. A little excitement on the other field if you're listening. Another foul ball straight back against the screen. 1-2 the count. We do have the undefeated game going on the other field over here. Someone just hit a home run. That is Duchesne and Enterprise, and I'm not sure what the score is there. Their scoreboard does not work, and it's hard to get scores on that. So 1-2 the count here to Katie Cook. And by the way, sets and delivers. Ooh, inside on the edge, and she knew that. It fooled her on that inside edge, hung up there. Strikeout by the way. Second out of the inning.
Now batting second baseman number 3, Bree Allred.
That is now the 9th strikeout in 5 innings by the way. The 9th strikeout. Bree Allred comes to the plate with 2 down now, and the base is empty. Pop-up is going to come back over the screen. That'll be out of play. Even as good as Addison Butler is, that is unplayable. So it'll be 1 strike on the batter, Allred. Pitch down the middle, but a little low there, so it'll be 1-1 the count. So by the way, again, throwing well. Struggle a little bit, but 4 of the last batters have gone down by strikeout. High, ball 2, 2-1 the count.
After getting taken out once.
So 2 on the way. Foul back against the screen again. 1-2 the count now. As by the way, throwing well here. Again, a bit of a concern in the last inning as a double by Stedman, a base on balls to Allred, and a single by Bailey had the bases loaded in the last inning, but then strikeout by the way, and kept it as a 3-0 game here. Now she works full here against Allred now. Full count, 3-2 with 2 out. And see if she can keep this to a 3-up, 3-down inning, or if she'll lose this batter. We'll see what happens here on this pitch. Again, the number 2 hitter, Bree Allred. Stedman on deck. She's going to come inside, ball 4, so she'll walk her. So Allred holds tough in there. Looked like that could be a questionable pitch, one you're trying to swing at because you're not sure. But she holds off and gets the walk, and Stedman now comes to the batter's box. with a strikeout and a double in her 2 plate appearances. So, ripped, shortstop backhands it across the diamond. Does she make the play? Unable to hold it is the first baseman. So Cloward will not be able to corral that. She went into the stretch and the ball hit the glove, just unable to come up with it. So a great backhand stab on a sharp hit ball by Kenzie Allen at shortstop. And a big throw across the diamond, but just not able to hold on to it as Cloward. Interesting to see the scoring on that. Yeah, that's a have to be scored probably an error on the first baseman because it was there in time. The first baseman has to pick it up. Was able to put a glove on it on time, but not able to hold it. So we unfortunately going to have to rule that an error. But really, the key to that was the backhand stab by the shortstop Allen to keep that one in the infield in the first place because that was a tremendous stab. So 2 runners on, 2 out here, and to the plate comes Oldroyd. And Oldroyd with 1 swing could tie this whole thing right up. Takes the first pitch. It's the change up low, ball 1. Grantsville ahead 3-0 here in the top of the 5th, but like we say, Oldroyd with 1 swing could tie this game up in a hurry. She steps in with an 0-1 count. By the way, has been really exceptionally tough in the most difficult of situations so far. Another one almost in the same spot, called ball on this case, 1-1. And what we're talking about is bases loaded, nobody out, and throwing 3 strikeouts in a row to end the inning. That's about as tough as it can get, and that's as sharp as you can pitch under those circumstances. So she's got a situation again here with 2 runners on. Swing and a miss on a flutter, so she gets the second strike on the batter. Oldroyd has flown out to left field and got a base on balls in her 2 appearances here. And so we'll see what happens again here as she stands in. 1-2 the count, 2 down. A little bit high. Oldroyd started to go for it but held off, so it's a 2-2 count now. 2-2 the count. Again, the winner of this ball game is in the championship games. So that's the prize for winning this one, and it's usually very hard fought, as this one is 3-0 here in the 5th inning. Popped it up, it'll come over the screen, and we'll live to play again. There's a fan tried to catch it sitting down. Buddy, if you'd got up, that would have been an out. But he tried to catch it sitting down, so it doesn't count. But he didn't touch it, so it's not an error on the fan, so we're okay with that one. And the little contraption to get the balls in the tube to drop down to the umpire is kind of hanging up a little bit. Appreciate all the fans who run the balls back in for them to keep the games going. So here we go. 2-2 the count, 2 down, 2 on. Deuces wild here as we approach the bat here and see if By the Way can work her magic again, as she has done time and time again, to keep this a 0. The goose egg on the scoreboard for North Sanpete. Whoa, on the inside corner, and she leaves her standing there as once again she works her magic and throws the strikeout to Oldroyd to end the threat and the inning. And so after 4.5, it's still 3-0. And By the Way works herself out of another jam. What a pitching display. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th here in just a second.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Okay, we come back to the ball game. Bottom of the fifth now. Grantsville coming to bat. They do lead the ball game 3-0. North Sanpete, you got to wonder when they're going to break through. The last couple of innings, they put a lot of runners on base, but just can't get the hit in the key situation. And I attest a lot of that to the pitching of the pitcher, by the way, under duress. She seems to really come to the scream to the top under duress, and she's done that in 2 innings plus now. When she's needed it, she's been able to throw the strikeout. So Grantsville at the plate, and a dribbler down the third baseline, picked up there by Miramontes and across the field to North. Easily done. That's Sophia Crosby. So grounds out to the third baseman for the first out of the inning. And on the other side of it, Caitlin Johnson, who struggled a little bit in the first inning, has really settled down here. And Grantsville hasn't been able to get anything going since either. And there's a 2-bouncer to the shortstop across the diamond. It's in the dirt. Nice pick up there by the first baseman. That's your job, first base, is to make everybody else look good and dig the ball out. So Bolander is thrown out, but that's a great place by Miramontes. Daly across to North, and North with a tremendous dig on that play. So 2 outs here on about 3 pitches is all that Johnson's had to throw here. That's that beautiful changeup, drops in for the strike. Strike 1 to Addison Butler. Addison Butler's been on both times in her plate appearances with a base on balls and a single, and has scored 1 of the 3 runs. So it's the same pitch again, that little flutter that drops in for a strike. Nice changeup, nice action there by the pitcher, Johnson, who, take nothing away. We talk a lot about by the way, but Johnson, since the first, has thrown extremely well too. That ball is hit high and deep to left field. Under it, though, is Stedman, and she'll take it in. So it's 3 up, 3 down for a real quick inning there for Grantsville, as that's a fly out to the left fielder for the third out. So 2 innings in a row, they go 3 up, 3 down, does Grantsville. Great pitching and great defense by North Sanpete as they keep this thing close. They'll be up in the top of the 6th when we come back, looking to get on the scoreboard.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, Sanpete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
Another score update for you real quick in the 2A action in the playback game. You've got Parowan over San Juan 13-3 in that ball game, and that is in the 4th inning. So Parowan putting it on San Juan pretty strong. And in the other 3A playback game, it's 10-4, I believe, in favor of Manti right now. The championship flight game, the undefeateds, not sure what the score is over there between Duchesne and Enterprise. We'll try and get that for you. Back here, North Sanpete comes to the plate, once again trying to put some runs on the board, as they have had 5 base runners left on base in the last 2 innings. In the 4th inning, they had bases loaded, left them all. And in the 5th inning, they had 2 on and left them standing, as, by the way, has tightened up in those situations. And there's another strike by the way. She has 10 strikeouts on the game so far, and in 2 innings, she struck out 3 batters in the same inning. So really cranked it up when she's had to. Swing and a miss, strike 2, so 1-2 the count here to the batter Bailey. And Miramontes on deck, North in the hole, As again, North Sanpete desperately trying to get something going here. They're down 3-0 in the top of the 6th inning here. They're down to 6 outs to make something happen. Inside ball, it'll go 2-2 now, the count. And again, typical pitching performance by the way. Nibble at the outside, then bust it back inside on the hands. That time it got a little bit low, and there was a called ball. So 2-2 the count here to the batter, Bailey. Ooh, outside high, going to go full again. And by the way, we'll take it full. And Bailey the batter. On deck, Miramontes. Bailey has struck out and got a single. Last time up, she singled. Brings it inside and high. There's the first runner on once again. And North Sanpete again putting pressure on. Gets the walk there. Puts a runner on first base. Nobody out. And Miramontes. You wonder how many more times they can go to this well and pitch out of it, though. You can't keep putting all those runners on and eventually not have one of them or two of them score somewhere. So we'll see if she can bear down here to Miramontes with North on deck. Swing and a miss by Miramontes on the first pitch. Strike one to her. And we'll see. We get ready here for the next pitch. We're 0-1 the count. Popped it up straight back. We got a chance. Oh, a little short of our balcony here. Claire's getting braver. If it ever comes this way, she says she might stick her hand out that window and go for the grab right there. Try and fill that ball. So 0-2 the count here to Miramontes. Outside high, ball one. 1-2 the count now. So North Sanpete's making her throw an awful lot of pitches in this ball game. We'll see again if they can break through and get some runs on the board. So far a shutout for the Grantsville Lady Cowboys. Popped it up back again. That's again going to go into the concession stands area. Guard your nachos and hot dogs because here it comes. So 1-2 still to count. By the way, comes with the pitch. Swing and strike out. She dropped it, but first is occupied. You can't go if first is occupied unless there's two down. Then you can go. So strikeout again. Miramontes steps up with the big strikeout. Excuse me, not Miramontes. She struck out. But by the way, gets another strikeout in a tough situation.
Now batting first baseman number 9, Indigo North.
Tenth strikeout of the ball game for, by the way. Pitch is inside, called on the inside corner, called strike to Indigo North. So of 16 outs so far in the game, 10 of them have been by way of strikeout by the way. It's inside, and does that hit her? She's not going to first, therefore did not. Nice dig there by Addison Butler as she got a glove down and knocked that thing down before it got loose and allowed the runner to go to second. We do have Bailey on at first with one away. And North now with Johnson on deck and straight in the hole. Oh, goes down and rips one to right field. Nicely done there by the batter North as she reached down and hit a ball that was probably going to be a ball way down low, and she rips it into right field and gets a single and moves Bailey to second base. So once again, you have runners on with only one out, and Johnson's going to be coming to the plate. She's got a base on balls and then the strikeout to end the threat in the fourth. As we mentioned, by the way, striking out 3 straight batters there with bases loaded. So we've got a bit of a change. We got a runner on, I guess, for North. Even though she's the first baseman, you will substitute a runner in and then re-enter her defensively at the next inning. So this is a strategic move to try and get a chance to get a faster runner on there to be able to max out the opportunities that are presented to the offense here. And again, Peyton Johnson batting for Caitlin Johnson steps in now. 2 plate appearances, a base on balls, and a strikeout. Pitch there is a strike down the middle, strike 1. And as has happened in the past innings, we'll see if By the Way can buckle down here and close this threat down. Again, North Sanpete has left 5 runners on in the last 2 innings. They've stranded 5 runners. And they have 2 more on here with 1 down. Outside, it's called strike on the outside corner. 0-2 now to Johnson, Peyton Johnson. Got that one curving right off that outside corner away from the left-hander. So she cuts it out and cuts it in, depending on which side you're hitting from. So, By the Way with an 0-2 count now to Johnson. See if she'll nibble at it or if she'll go right at her. Popped up down the left field line. Shortstop rounds back and takes it in. So nice play there. Johnson puts it in play, but it's a fly out to the shortstop, although she had to range back towards the sideline and into left field to get her done. But that's 2 outs. And we'll see if Emily Strait can make something happen or if North Sanpete strands a couple more runners. Like we said, they've had 5 in the last 2 innings, 3 and then 2. And they've got 2 more sitting out there now. Strait. Ball it's a foul ball back to the screen. Strait twice now has hit to the third baseman. And Bolander has thrown her out at first to Cloward 2 times in her 2 appearances. Both times she has hit to the third baseman. See if she can get one just outside the third baseman, maybe into her left field and get a run scored. Foul ball again. She's right on, By the Way, as she's fouled both of them off. 0-2 the count now, 2 away, 2 runners on, 6th inning. Here we go. By the Way, again, deliberate in taking the signal, steps to the plate. Customary throw the left hand out. Here we go. Inside, ball 1. That pitch has been called for, though. That's pretty brave of Strait to stand there and let that one go. That's the pitch. By the Way, wants to throw it in there, bust it inside, and see if you'll take the swing. You're so used to seeing it on the outside corner. Once again, 1-2 the count, 2 away here. And By the Way, strikes her out again. Wow, once again gets the strikeout in a tough situation. So strikeout again, number 11 for By the Way. Ends the inning, and North Sanpete strands 2 more. That's 7 in the last 3 innings for North Sanpete. What hard luck for them. Sooner or later, they got to break through with a hit somewhere. But that's the way it stands right now as we'll go to the bottom of the 6th when we come back on the TeamHive.live and KSL Network. We appreciate you being with us. We'll be back.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Oh, wow, they're ready to go quick here. Welcome back here as they get ready to go quickly here. Johnson steps up and immediately fires strikes there. The batter for Grantsville is Avery Lee. And she flew out to the center fielder and struck out in her 2 plate appearances. Caitlin Johnson throwing a nice game here. That's going to be low inside. So that'll be a ball. 1-1, I believe, is the count here. And again, Avery Johnson on deck as Ellie Thomas, and in the hole is Zoe Cloward. That's going to be high. That's high and outside. Bounces off the concrete support all the way to the top of the foul standards. And be a ball, 2-1 the count. Hit the first, line shot right at the first baseman, and Indigo North just says, I got that one, no biggie. And a line shot to first base. So, hate to call that a fly because that was a shot, a line drive. Nonetheless, it's an out, first out of the inning. And as we mentioned, the last 2 innings, the pitching and the defense of North Sanpete has shut Grantsville down. They've been 3 up, 3 down the last couple of innings. That one's a high fly ball going towards second base. She settles under it and takes it easily. So again, on 4 pitches now, it's 2 away here in the inning. And with Zoe Cloward can't get something going, they are in jeopardy of going 3 and out again for the 3rd inning in a row. And even the inning before that was only 5 batters. They did score a run in that inning, but 3 and out, and 2 so far with a possibility of 3. Throws the changeup, does Johnson. Nicely done. Strike 1 on the batter, Cloward. Cloward reached on a base on balls and then flew out to the shortstop. And those are her 2 plate appearances now. A little bit up, ball, 1-1 the count. Again, 3-0. It's been that way since the 3rd inning now as North Sanpete has shut Grantsville down. That'll be a called strike on the outside half. And it's 1-2 now to Cloward as Johnson, she's saying anything Chloe, by the way, can do, I can do too. And she has shut Grantsville down. Outside high, ball 2. And in fact, the North Sanpete defense really outplaying at this point in time the pitching and defense because they have not allowed a runner since the 3rd inning. They have not allowed a runner. That is a late swing there, hits it down third base foul, and it'll remain 2-2 the count. So North Sanpete, they got the 3 runs against them, but since that time, not a runner has made it to base for the Grantsville Lady Cowboys. So brings another pitch, runs that. There it is, that change-up once again on the outside corner. Fools her strikeout. 3 up, 3 down here. The 3rd inning in a row of 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the top of the 7 with North Sanpete trailing 3-0. See if they can finally punch through as they've left 7 on in the last 3 innings. We'll see if they can punch through. They've got 3 outs to get her done. We'll be right back.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $4,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
Welcome back here as we go to the top of the 7th now, a 3-0 ball game in favor of Grantsville. You have North Sanpete coming to the plate. And let me put it in perspective. The first 2 innings, North Sanpete goes 3 up, 3 down. Since that time, they have had left 9 runners on base. 9 runners on base, not able to get one across. Part of that is the great pitching of By the Way. But 9 runners on base over the last 4 innings and not able to get any of them in. So we'll see if they can break through that here. The first pitch is a ball. We are at the top of the order here for North Sanpete with Katie Cook here in the 7th inning. We'll see if she can get something going. Swing and a miss on the outside half of the plate. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. On the other side of that, in the last 4 innings, Grantsville hasn't had a runner in the last 3 innings. At that same time, North Sanpete's left 9. Here we go with the 7th. Kind of takes that off the knee, Katie Cook. So hit by pitch, she'll be on. That's the second time she's taken one for the team, as she's got on twice by being hit by a pitch. The other 2 times she struck out. So you got the runner at first, and she's done as a leadoff batter. You do what you can to get on there and get something going. So once again, we got some action. Katie Cook at first. Nobody out. Bree Allred comes to the plate. Bree Allred also with a strikeout, a flyout, and a base on balls in her 3 appearances. Here we go. Pops that up. Shortstop ranges back for it and will take it. That's Kenzie Allen, 1 away. Fly out. The runner remains where she is. 1 down here. Madison Stedman coming to the plate. North Sanpete down to their 2 outs here to make something happen. They've got to get at least 3 to keep playing. And Grantsville, of course, does have the last at-bat. But you've got to get 3 here, North Sanpete. 1 away. Stedman comes to the plate. Swing and a miss on a changeup from By the Way. And you've got Stedman has a strikeout, a double, and also got a hit in the 5th inning. So she's been on 2 out of 3, able to put the ball in play, and they certainly need her right here. Pop up. They're going to come back over the screen, however, so that'll be a foul ball. And it will be a 0-2 count now to Madison Stedman. Lucy Oldroyd on deck. And so they are in the heart of their order. Offensively, this is right where you want to be in this situation. We'll see if, again, By the Way can work her magic. Pitch on the way, a little bit high. Nice grab there by Addison Butler, doing a nice job. Both these little catchers doing a great job behind the plate. Butler for Grantsville and Katie Cook for North Sanpete doing excellent work behind the plate. Compliment them on what they're doing. So 1-2 the count. Outside, ball 2. As you get the feeling that, By the Way, they had the advantage there. She had 2 strikes on the batter, so takes the chance to try and nibble at that corner and see if she can't get Stedman to take that swing on the outside edge. But Stedman holding steady and does not take the bait. And so it now is a 2-2 count. This is the pitch you want to make something happen as a pitcher. You really don't want to go to 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for By the Way. I believe that's number 12 on the night. So that's the second out as North Sanpete down to their last out now. Lucy Allred comes to the plate. She's flown out to left field, base on balls, and a strikeout in her last at-bat. So she needs to get something going here. 2 down, 1 on, as Katie Cook drew the leadoff walk and is still standing at first base. Outside edge, breaks to the outside. Too far, ball 1. Manti leading in their ball game 11-7, so the loser of this ball game will drop down and play Manti if they win. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Oldroyd. And again, the loser of this game, their season is finished. They will finish in 4th place. The winner will play, the loser is not finished. They will drop down and play the winner of Manti and Carbon. Right now, Manti winning that ball game. And so, pop straight back. The possibility there is if indeed that North Sanpete loses this ball game and Manti wins their ball game, we have got a cross-county rivalry going here. It'll be Manti versus North Sanpete with the right to come back and play Grantsville. Manti and Grantsville, the last 2 state champions. Grantsville had 4. Manti got 1 last year. Grantsville trying to take it back this year. Fouled off. Ooh, defensive swing there by Oldroyd as she taps the ball. It goes foul to the right. just staying alive with that swing. 0-2 the count. North Sanpete down to their last strike here. And Oldroyd trying to keep it alive, and that was a good defensive swing, just tapping the ball somehow to be able to get another swing at it. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and another strikeout for the pitcher, by the way, as she strikes him out, and that will be the ball game. North Grantsville will win it 3-0. And well done by Grantsville. And again, North Sanpete leaves 10 runners on in the last 4 innings. 10 runners on, unable to get them across. And Manti, again, the pitcher, when she had to, threw the ball where it needed to be. 11 strikeouts, 12 strikeouts in the game. So hats off to her. And a valiant effort by North Sanpete. They held them after that first couple of innings. They just could not get a runner across. So they will drop down and play the winner. It looks like right now that's going to be Manti. That will be tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Grantsville will await the winner of that ball game as they are in the state championship now. And it looks like Manti is going to win that ball game against Carbon. So that'll be the scenario. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, North Sanpete will play again. And still has a chance to try and get into that championship game and take on this Grantsville crew once again. So for TeamHive.live and Centricom and KSL Sports, we've enjoyed bringing you the games. This is the final game on this side. Some others are still going on, and it'll come back tomorrow, so we'll see you then. Good night.